Alrighty, so someone broke into the headquarters of Rizzo, and I think that someone is going after Quinton Ludovico, but still, why would this infiltrator kill Dr. Blossom and Constable Maria Keene? I mean, Blossom I could understand because she's involved in the experiments. Maybe the killer was Helen's partner in this investigation. So maybe the partner would like to would like to take revenge. But what about the constable Maria Keene? Why was she killed as well? And also one other thing that I don't know the answer to yet. Who was the female friend that Bertie um that Bertie visited? He was reluctant to talk about that friend, and he immediately mentioned Auric West. I'm guessing so he didn't have to talk about this female friend. 3 questions I need answer for, or rather 2 maybe. Naked hunch. Investigate the security breach. Someone is attacking the distillation station. Administrator Ludovico may be the target. Okay, time to go.
I'm gonna nick a few towels. They won't notice. There's no room service, right? Just asking.
Aha! Always so nice to hear you, Inspector. I'll get you to your floor on the double.
Okay, let's go to the distillery. Distillery ahoy! Guys, don't you know? Your boss is under attack. Maybe they have strict orders to guard the bridge. Oh, what? Hi! What did Ellie say? I'm what? The Rizzo's Rangers athletes are no longer here. I hope they had time to flee before these crazies arrived. Oh, entering from the side now? What's with the front door? Is it locked or barred or something? Oh, I can go, okay. Oh no, the receptionist. The receptionist did nothing wrong. Okay, that one is sealed. No. Oh, I remember this gate. It was guarded by two securities. But now there's no one here. Okay, where should we go? Okay, I assume this elevator leads back to the lobby, right? Oh, blood. No. Sealed. What? Is that Helen?
It's you.
Wait,
I had a feeling you'd catch up to me sooner or later, Inspector. I was just hoping you'd find me standing over the administrator's corpse.
but you're dead.
What in law's name? Halcyon Helen, how are you still alive?
Oh, is that Ludovico I hear? Perfect. I'm so glad he's still in the building. Would you mind letting him know I'm about to blow his whole operation to flinders?
No, that's a fair question. You want to explain how you're still alive?
Brace yourself, Inspector. You're about to learn the biggest secret in the Aetherwave industry.
Huh, what?
Halcyon Helen was never one person. I shared this role with my twin sister, Belinda.
Must have
Oh,
been her sister in the ballroom. I can't imagine what she's going through right now.
A twin? The only thing worse than being an only child has gotta be having a perfect sibling. Can you imagine the parents?
Belinda and I were the best kept secret in the business. Nobody could tell us apart. And certainly not a peevish, petty, miserable little worm like Quentin Ludovico. So when I discovered the truth, when I realized what Ludovico was about to unleash on this colony, Belinda paid the price.
okay, so the B, the letter B. I mean, the person known as B who sent the letter to Ruth Bellamy was her sister, Belinda Bellamy. Okay, another question though. Both Belinda and Ruth are actresses, right? So why are they doing this? Why are they doing this investigation, risking their lives? Are they secretly not actresses? Is being an actress just a cover for their real job, maybe? Or they are actual actresses, but but maybe there's another side to their personality. Outside of being an actress, maybe they're, I don't know, adventurous spirits, thrill seekers, daredevil. I don't know. Administrator Ludovico, a murderer and a coward. Why? I never feign shock. I'm sorry about Belinda.
So am I. I'm sorry I wasn't there for her. Killing the administrator won't bring her back. But it'll feel good.
I have no regrets. I did exactly what I had to do. I'd do it again. If it means defending Halcyon's future, I'd do it in a heartbeat.
Tell the truth, Ludovico. There's nothing safe about Spectrum Brown. You want to infest this entire colony with those disgusting parasites.
They're not parasites. These creatures are symbiotic life forms. They belong to the highest order of life form, capable of living in perfect harmony with humanity. The symbiotes evoke a feeling of joy in their host, a bliss so pure, so profound as to render the most exquisite recreational substance obsolete. Oh, don't you see, Inspector? I want to bring joy back to Halcyon. I want this colony to smile again.
Hold on. One thing I wanted to ask Ruth Bellamy though. I understand if she killed Dr. Blossom because she's the leader of the experiment and her whole team to stop this to stop what they're going to do. But why did you kill Constable Maria Keene? What was her involvement in the whole experiments? Why did you kill her? Ruth Bellamy, tell me. They are not symbiotes. I've seen the way the infected behave.
A host only turns violent if they're carrying too many symbiotes, or if they see you as a threat. In its natural state, the relationship between symbiote and host is perfectly harmless. Listen to me. I never wanted to take a life, but I had no choice. I couldn't let anyone destroy this colony's only chance at real happiness. But what about Helen? What about all the innocent people she's killed?
No one I crossed off was innocent.
What about Maria Keene? Okay, Ruth and Belinda are both actresses, but they possess the ability, or at least Ruth Bellamy possessed the capability for combat. She infiltrated this building, killed Rizzo security guards. That means she's not a stranger to combat. Is she really an actress? I mean, is she really just an actress? Or is that a cover for her and her sister? Or like I said earlier, maybe she's just an adventurer, thrill seeker, daredevil, and it would make sense. Those types of people would learn a set of skills that would help them protect themselves, like firearms, hand-to-hand combat, etc., right? But Rizzo security guards, they must have gone through training, comprehensive training. How could an individual learning firefights and hand-to-hand combat without the proper structure and resources of a big corporation can possess the skills and knowledge to not even rival, but defeat a group of security guards, trained security guards, unless Ruth was trained by experts, veterans of the battlefield, and maybe former spy who found a job in the movie industry teaching the actors their former trade, as requirements for the role of Halcyon Helen. I don't know. What about Constable Maria Keene? I know you killed the Ranger's mascot. Why didn't Aldervaris mention Constable Maria Keene though? I know you killed the Ranger's mascot.
The mascot was a spy working for Ludovico. He was ordered to keep an eye on Belinda and I, and report back to his master.
What about Maria Keene?
You're being paranoid. I barely knew the fellow.
Don't try to deny it. Anywhere Belinda and I went, that mascot was there, just watching us with those cold, dead eyes.
I'm pretty sure he wasn't working for the administrator.
He was a Rizzo's employee. He belonged to Ludovico's horrible little family of grinning idiots. Dr. Leora Blossom, Maria Keene, that flackwit of a mascot, they were standing between me and Ludovico, so I did what I had to do.
But
I went through them.
I can understand Blossom. She's in charge of the experiment. But the mascot and Maria Keene had nothing to do with this. You killed Constable Keene? She was on your side.
She was on Ludovico's side. When she realized I was alive, she refused to stay silent.
What?
I gave Maria a chance. I told her about Belinda. I asked for her help, but she turned me down. She was honor-bound to report me to Ludovico. Maria had a duty to her company, and I had a duty to Belinda. We both did what we had to. But in the end, I was the faster shot.
Okay, I don't know whether she's lying or not. But what about the Ranger's mascot? Bertie was the one who ordered the mascot to rummage through Helen's things. Okay, let's say she wasn't lying about Maria Keene. The Ranger's mascot is a collateral damage. She murdered the Ranger's mascot, who had nothing to do with this. Oh, come on. What about Dr. Blossom? Was that you in the research lab?
Have you met Dr. Blossom? She was practically a reptile. A cold-blooded psychopath who toyed with human lives in the name of scientific advancement. Leora Blossom wasn't a person. She was a weapon in Ludovico's arsenal. You call it murder? I call it disarming my enemy.
She doesn't want to accept the truth that the Ranger's mascot was a wrong target for her to kill. Was the mascot really a spy? I don't think so. It was Bertie who ordered him, and Bertie admitted to it when we talked to him at the bar. You know, at the bar, at the Spaceports bar. I've heard enough.
You know what you need to do. Help me avenge Belinda. Help me put a stop to this.
Don't listen to her. Listen to me. Throw in with Helen and you destroy Halcyon's only chance at real happiness. Think of the future, Inspector. A lifetime of bliss and joy for every colonist in Halcyon. We can make that happen.
Aldervaris is interested in making people happy, but she has seen the ones who went feral. Yeah. Not going to take the risk. I'm helping you, Helen. But once we get out of here, I expect answers. Wait, Helen, I still have more questions.
You want me to explain my grand plan in the middle of a climactic moment like some two-bit serial villain? Do I look like Spencer Woolrich to you? We've talked enough. You're either with me, or you're with the administrator.
I'm helping you, Helen. But once we get out of here, I expect answers.
It's a deal.
Wow. I can't believe we're running with Halcyon Helen.
We don't have a lot of time. We need to get out of here.
Not so fast. I've sealed the bulkhead doors. You're staying right where you are. I'm sorry to do this to you, Inspector. Truly I am. If it's any consolation, Helen has brought some remarkably powerful explosives. Your death should be instantaneous. Goodbye, Inspector. Helen, we won't meet again.
Damn it. He sealed us in, but I think I know another way out. Follow me and stay close.
Let's move. She killed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 security guards all by herself. Whoever trained her for her role, the trainers must be experts and veteran of real combat situation. I don't know. And maybe that combined with Helen's natural affinity to violence, to combat. Sealed? It is sealed? Why is it sealed? Sealed as well? Okay.
Head through that door. There's another way out.
But I wanna explore. I wanna explore though. Oh.
Looks like you sealed the door. Try throwing that switch down there. That should get us through. Nice work. We're close to the exit.
Nope. Oh, whoa.
We made it. Nice work, Inspector. We may have put a stop to Ludovico's operations, but he's still at large. He's probably gone into hiding, so we're going to root him out.
What's the plan?
This entire complex has been exposed to those parasites. Law only knows how many they've infected. Most of them won't even know they're carrying a parasite inside of them. If they're showing symptoms, it's probably already too late. Boundless energy, insufferable joy, an almost saccharine attitude of optimism. Then just like that, parasites bursting out of their bodies, fat and wriggling with vital energy.
There must be some kind of pesticide. Benign to humans, lethal to parasites.
You're a step ahead of me, Inspector. Clearly a woman of many talents. An airborne pesticide of some kind. I think you may be onto something. Let's meet back at your penthouse. We'll ready our next move.
Hold on, I have questions.
Not here. In private, back at the penthouse. Also, I rather like the ambiance there. See you soon, Inspector.
But I want to explore. I want to explore this whole map and I can't explore? No way, man. I want to explore. Okay. What? Sealed? What the hell? This whole map? I can't... This whole map, I can't explore it. Why? This is such a waste, man. A big map like this and I can't explore it? What the hell? Was I too late? Maybe I should have explored this place before this quest. I forgot about the... You know, I forgot about the side door. As soon as I saw the sealed door in the lobby, I just left. What a huge mistake, man. What a huge mistake. Rizzo Spectrum. So they are twins. Oops, where am I? Wait, have I seen this before? I don't remember. Can I go back inside? I want to... I want to explore. Sealed? Was I too late? Was I too late? She looks different in the poster. I prefer how she looks in the poster. Is it open now? Still sealed? Maybe I will return here, maybe. Oh no, what's that sound? Wait, have I been here before? This structure over here. Huh?
Like true professionals.
Hey, careful guys, okay?
I see the adjutant sent her own freelancer for more intelligence.
Amitarai.
I knew you'd be back. Always happy to see a new customer. Or a repeat customer. Any customer.
Yeah, poor Amita. She has to save up money so she can pay the fines for her ship. Without paying the fine, she can't fly. Her ship was impounded. I wonder how's the situation in other islands, but I don't want to waste time going there. Oh,
Hey, Inspector.
careful, careful, careful. The parasites are everywhere now. Oh,
Don't mess make you smile.
the guests are still out and about. We should do a complex-wide announcement so everyone get inside the hotel and barricade the doors. Oh, I remember. Sullivan was also so happy. Is Sullivan infected by the parasites?
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
I hope not.
An industrial-grade laxative has been added to the liquor in these bottles.
Industrial grade laxative. I hope she's alright. Oh, the memorial. Flowers, candles, photo of Belinda. Belinda Bellamy. Industry best kept secret that Halcyon Helen is played by twins, Ruth Bellamy and Belinda Bellamy. Wait, hold on. The friend that Bertie mentioned. Was it Belinda? Does Bertie know about Belinda?
Inspector.
I thought I would be able to tell her about the truth about Halcyon Helen.
Aha! Oh. Next stop.
I'm leaving my shoes on.
Do you think it's strange that I kind of miss Ada?
No, you're not. And that is what I regret. We can't bring others with us. I wish the developers made it possible to bring Ada with us. You know, like maybe we are wearing, it doesn't have to be in a physical form. It could be that we're wearing a watch, a wristwatch, or some kind of device that we carry that contains where a device that allows us to communicate with Ada and also allows Ada to see and hear what we see and hear.
Is this how people in Byzantium live all the time? So this is what a clean room smells like. You think Helen's looked my way yet? Yeah, I'm sure she did.
Yes, I'm sure of that. But why don't you strike a conversation with her, Felix?
This room ain't so bad. I could get used to this. You think Helen's looked my way yet? Yeah, I'm sure she did.
Hey, Captain. I'm just gonna stand here quietly and hope Miss Helen doesn't look straight at me. Mostly because, honestly, I don't know what to make of her yet. Everything's so soft and silky, and expensive. Oh gosh, I hope I don't get any grease stains on the furniture. There's no room service, right? Just asking. Everything's so soft and silky and
I do love all the wall
expensive.
space.
Oh
So
gosh,
much
I
room
hope I
for
don't get any
trophies.
grease stains on the furniture.
You think they'd object to me setting up a tanning station here? Even the air in here feels too sweet. Almost sticky. You think they'd object to me setting up a tanning station here?
What's your opinion about Helen?
I do love all the wall space. So much room for trophies. Even the air in here feels too sweet.
What centrifuge? The centrifuge was stolen from the Rizzo's RR&D labs. Examine the centrifuge. You see a small label stuck against the side of the device. The label reads Rizzo's Laboratory Centrifuge. No training required. All Rizzo's laboratory equipment has been designed for use by the unschooled worker. Insert ingredients, push buttons, and watch it spin. Rizzo's proprietary technology, so easy a spacer's choice worker could use it. Dexterity and perception. Peel back the label. You see another smaller label. Under that one, it reads Discontinued Model, Spacer's Choice Proprietary Technology. Oh, Rizzo stole a discontinued model from Spacer's Choice. Spacer's Choice discontinued product. If Rizzo is willing to use a Spacer's Choice product, that means Spacer's Choice products do work, right? Regardless of people saying that they make cheap stuff. I don't know. Maybe two things can be true at the same time. They make tech that works, but also cheap in ingredients and durability, perhaps, in materials, so it breaks down quick.
The longer we stay here, the more I can feel my mind softening. I sometimes find myself musing on who I used to think I was. It seems ridiculous in hindsight, but without my obsession, I never would have reached this point. Eridanos is a technological marvel, and they use it as a tourist destination to sell sweets and alcohol. Cereals are used by the board to control what the colonists think about reality. Quite a powerful thing. The opulence of this place is stifling. The longer we stay here, the more I can feel my mind softening.
It's strange. When you walk through that door, I half expected to see Belinda. Belinda and I practically shared a life. Losing her feels like losing a limb. She's conspicuous by her absence.
Do you girls also share Bertie? I'm sorry. This must be difficult for you.
I appreciate the sympathy, Inspector. Thank you. I'll appreciate your help even more. We shut down Ludovico's distillation plant, but he's not gonna sit idly by. If he can't use Spectrum Brown to infect the colony, he'll resort to some kind of backup plan. I stole this formula from Dr. Blossom, a failed prototype of Spectrum Brown. Look at this. The prototype had the opposite effect, and actually made you immune to the parasites.
Perception. Read the formula. And also slightly depressed instead of incredibly happy.
This is Halcyon. Everyone's already miserable. A little more despair isn't gonna make a difference. We're going to need 2 ingredients. A sample of essence of sprat, and 1 intact pod of parasite eggs. Cedric's warehouse in the Piraeus spaceport almost certainly carries a batch of sprat essence. As for the pod, I'd check the Wilderness Reserve if I were you.
Oh, you mean... But there are two science options. I should be able to synthesize an effective antiparasitic. Oh yeah, the research says Sprat's adaptive ability makes the parasite unable to grow. I should be able to synthesize an effective antiparasitic.
You're a scientist and an inspector? You really are full of surprises. I borrowed a centrifuge from the research lab. Use the ingredients to synthesize an antiparasitic.
Oh, science easy enough.
I'm glad I could count on your expertise. Once you're finished, head to the pilot house. We'll hijack the control system and disperse the cure into the atmosphere. That should kill off most of the parasites.
Not so fast. Let me borrow your needler.
Are you worried I'm gonna shoot you in the back?
Handgun. I'll put the gun to good work. I'm a better shot than you.
That sounds like a challenge. Alright. Show me what you can do. Here. You take good care of my needler, and it'll take good care of you.
Thanks.
There is one other thing. While you're at Piraeus Spaceport, have a word with Cedric Kincannon. I know Cedric. There's nothing he wants more than a chance to eliminate Ludovico. We could use him on our side. Best of luck, Inspector. I'm counting on you.
You killed innocent people. Did you really think I'd be okay with that?
Yes, Inspector. I did. Leora Blossom and Maria Keene were on Ludovico's side. They chose to stand between me
The
and my sister's
mascot?
killer. I had to cross them off.
The mascot? Once again, you're forgetting about the mascot.
He was clearly a spy for Ludovico. He was never far from Belinda or from me. We could hardly take a step outside our hotel without spotting that giant red mask somewhere in the periphery. It's like he was stalking us, watching our every move. If we took notice of him, he hurried away.
Perception intelligence. He sounds like a fan, not a spy. You realize he was working for Bertie, right?
He was working for Bertie Holcomb? But that doesn't... I mean, why was he always... Oh dear.
Yep.
I may have made an accidental, inadvertent, tiny miscalculation.
Not tiny. That's a person's life. You made a terrible mistake.
Yes. I have made a terrible mistake. I'll find his closest living relative and send them an autographed copy of Terror on
Not
Monarch
enough.
or something. That just
Not
makes things
enough.
over.
Not enough. You are a rich actress, right? You are a rich actress, right? That's not enough. You have to give the family lots of money. It won't bring the mascot back, but is the best you can do, especially in this place where money can, where the workers have bad working condition, inhumane working condition and requirements, and I assume also low pay. Let's assume you are as rich as the Hollywood actresses. You have a lot of money. Give a good amount, give a good portion to the surviving family of the mascot. Sending them an autographed copy of Terror on Monarch is an insult. What exactly happened between you and Constable Keen?
Would you believe me if I said I gave the constable a chance? I spoke to her in her office. I told her everything. Belinda, Ludovico, the parasites, all of it. Maria said I was guilty of corporate sabotage and that she had a duty to report me. She told me how sorry she was, and I told her the same thing. And then I shot her. Maria was defending my sister's killer. If someone murdered one of your crew in cold blood, what would you do?
I don't like any of these choices. None of them fit Aldervaris. I think number 4 fits Aldervaris. Yeah. She's a goody two shoes at heart. Sometimes too straight. I think number 4 fits her. It doesn't matter. You're a murderer, and nothing's going to change that.
I can't quite figure you out. You've been sympathetic about Belinda's murder, but condemn me for avenging her. It doesn't matter. I don't have anything to prove to you. Was there anything else you wanted, or shall we move on?
I wanted to ask you about Belinda.
Why, Inspector? Am I being questioned?
That's right. And I advise you to cooperate. No, we're just talking.
Fair enough. I do owe you at least a few honest answers. Belinda and I shared the role of Helen, but she was also the only person who knew the real me. To the rest of the colony, I'm Halcyon Helen, but to my sister, I was just Ruth. I could be myself around Belinda, and she could be herself around me. She was my only sister, but she was also my only friend.
People know you are Ruth Bellamy. Was it hard for Belinda to keep herself secret?
No. Belinda enjoyed the secrecy. She could slip into the role of Halcyon Helen, attend social events on my behalf, perform a few stunts, deliver a few lines. And then, when she grew tired of all the people and all the attention, all she had to do was slip out of the role and be my sister again. She was the secret twin. She had a comfortable life in the shadows, an easier life. I made sure of that.
An easier life in Byzantium while the rest of the colony starves to death. It's not like Ruth Bellamy had any power to change that. She's just an actress. Maybe Aldervaris thought that she should use a portion of her money to feed the colony. Maybe, I don't know. She was important to you. If I were you, I'd want revenge too.
I'm glad you can see past your earlier remarks. I am not, as you believe, a cold-blooded murderer. I was delivering retribution.
Nobody else knew you had a twin sister.
Parents, naturally. An agent, a couple of directors. None of them had any reason to reveal the truth. To them, Helen was a brand. Revealing our secret meant damaging that brand. Damaging that brand meant losing money. Nobody in this colony wants to lose money. Belinda and I saw Helen as an act of theatric sleight of hand. We enjoyed the deception, the challenge. We wanted to see how far we could go.
I'd say you went pretty far. You two became Halcyon's best paid stars.
And if I hadn't underestimated Ludovico, you and I probably wouldn't be talking about Belinda in the past tense. We wouldn't be talking about her at all. It should have been me in that ballroom. Belinda died because I was careless.
What do you mean by
Never mind
careless?
that. If you've got something else to ask me, now's the time.
That's all I wanted to know.
I'm glad I could satisfy your curiosity.
Bertie was carrying this datapad. I think it's yours.
Yes, this is mine. I'd kept notes on everything I suspected, everything I'd discovered. It's all here, all in code. Belinda and we had a secret way of communicating. Words and phrases that had a special meaning to us. Numbers and dates that were only important to the two of us. Only two people in the universe knew that language.
Give her the datapad. Here, take it. What? Why? Why would we want to give her that? I'm sorry.
Thank you, Hawthorne. Keep the datapad. All it's going to do is remind me of things I could never say to Belinda.
What? What exactly happened on the night of the murder?
You don't know how many times I relived this moment in my mind. I discovered what Ludovico was up to when I toured the orchards. I threatened to expose his plan. Ludovico decided to eliminate me. He programmed Burbage 3001 to fire on his command and disabled the security cameras in the ballroom. Only, he didn't know about Belinda. I'm sure he thought it was my skull he caved in with a bottle of Spectrum Brown. Burbage covered his blow with the plasma shot, and then Ludovico wiped his memory.
Yeah, then he hired me to pin the murder on someone else.
I don't think he expected you to be so competent. In the end, hiring you may have been his undoing. I went after Leora Blossom, and you were just one step behind me. I programmed an automech to steal some explosives from Cedric, but you weren't far behind.
Oh,
You were always hot on my heels, one step behind and catching up. I realized I'd have to throw in with you or eliminate you.
okay, so Ruth Bellamy was stealing explosives from Spaceport. She was the one who hacked the auto mechanical. She's very resourceful for an actress. Now I really... Either she is an agent, having a double life as an actress, an agent for whom, I don't know, or she has very, very competent trainers that teaches her stuff for her role as Halcyon Helen. Either one of those two possibilities, I think. You would have lost that fight. I don't think Aldervaris will say that. I want to hear the whole story. Tell me what happened.
It's a long story, Inspector.
I've got time.
It was supposed to be just another marketing job. Rizzo's wanted Halcyon Helen to be the face of Spectrum Brown. Some hideous concoction served with a dead parasite. All we had to do was spend a few weeks on Eridanos, shake some hands, sign a few autographs, drink a bottle of Spectrum Brown in front of a camera, and try to smile. Belinda didn't want to go, but I wanted a change of scenery. In any case, we couldn't possibly say no.
Why didn't Belinda want to go?
Belinda always hated endorsement deals. They felt cheap to her, inauthentic. She always believed her first priority was to our fans, and not the company that bought us out.
What made her change her mind?
Nothing. She took the job when I did. Belinda was an idealist, and her ideals died with her. Belinda and I arrived on Eridanos and played our usual game of trading places. We were practically flawless. Even Ludovico didn't know about us. Belinda was unhappy for the first few days, but then she met Bertie Holcomb. Bertie treated her like a human being and not just an Aetherwave icon. They were just about perfect.
Wait, what? Hold on. So they became lovers when they met each other on Eridanos? What? So I thought they've been lovers for at least months or a year. Judging from what Spencer Woolrich told me about the time it took for him to complete a shoot here, he said 8 weeks, I think. So only 2 months. So Belinda and Bertie got together for only 2 months. 2 months. Really? Except for his temper problem, I found the ruined picnic.
Bertie has a dreadful temper. I was worried about Belinda for a while, but she told me he'd never lay a finger on her, and I took her at her word. Bertie wasn't the person I should have kept an eye on. It was Ludovico. I had a feeling Ludovico was hiding something. Belinda stayed busy socializing with the celebrities around the complex. That gave me some time to do a little digging.
You tipped your hand. Ludovico was obviously onto you.
My first mistake was insisting on a tour of the labs. Ludovico tried to delay me as much as possible, but I think he knew I was after the truth. I saw everything. The test subjects, the parasites. Spectrum Brown was never safe to drink. Those harmless, dead parasites at the bottom of every bottle. They were just dormant. They would have sold out in a month. This colony loves novelty. They'll eat up any new product we toss their way. A new cereal, a new Spectrum flavor. Ludovico knows that. From Emerald Vale to Byzantium, a parasite in every brain and a grin on every face. Every last one of us trapped behind a mask of joy. That's what Ludovico wants.
Hold on. Why did Ludovico even give you access? He could have just denied your request to tour the lab, and there's nothing that Helen could do about it, except maybe infiltrate the lab, like how she infiltrated the distillery. Ludovico realized what you were up to. He thought you'd expose his plans.
I was careless. I was risking Belinda's life every step of the way, and I never even realized.
Don't blame yourself.
I wish it were that easy. Still, thank you. Was there something else you wanted to talk about?
Goodbye.
Hello, Inspector. What can I do for you?
Okay, I want to try something.
It's strange. I appreciate...
Medical, so your immune system could destroy the parasites before the larval stage.
Precisely. I see we're in your wheelhouse, Inspector. Or do you prefer Doctor? We're going to need 2 ingredients.
Oh, you mean sprout nucleins. They're commonly used in medical experiments. What pod? Oh, 1 intact pod of parasite eggs, okay.
I'm glad one of us is an expert. Most of what I know is based on Dr. Blossom's notes. Here's what I understand. Sprats have an adaptive immune system. They don't suffer from the diseases and parasites they carry. It's one reason why you'll see them in every corner of the colony. Dr. Blossom experimented with sprats and accidentally discovered a way to become immune to the parasites. That's probably when she decided to switch to human testing.
I should be able to synthesize an effective antiparasitic.
You're a scientist and an inspector? I borrowed a centrifuge.
Easy enough.
I'm glad I could... Once you're finished, head to the pilot house.
Not so fast. Let me borrow your needler. Do I want it? Most?
The more severe cases are beyond saving. I'm afraid there's not much we can do for Groundskeeper Yarbo.
Oh
There's
no!
one other thing. While you're at Piraeus Spaceport, have a word with Cedric Kincannon. I know Cedric. There's nothing he wants more than a chance to eliminate Ludovico. We could use him on our side. Best of luck, Inspector.
So
I'm counting on you.
So we can't save people like Jacob Yarbo and Sidney Moyano? Oh no.
He was...
What are you going to do about it?
I'll find his closest living relative and send them an autographed copy of Terror... I can't... It does... I'm glad.
You would have lost that fight.
I like your confidence. Take that with you when you hunt down Ludovico. It's a long... I was supposed to...
You make it sound like you didn't have a choice.
Belinda and I are Halcyon Helen. Halcyon Helen is a creative property owned by whatever company sponsors our latest picture. Rizzo's finance the majority of Terror on Monarch, which means they currently own 51% of Halcyon Helen. We were required by law to take the job.
And here I was hoping one thing in this colony wasn't bought and paid for.
Beware of hope. It's a dangerous emotion and will disappoint you in the end. Belinda and I arrived on air. Belinda was on...
So why'd they break up?
Bertie didn't know the truth about Belinda and I. He thought he was dating Ruth Bellamy, and Belinda... She didn't want to lie to him.
So you asked her to break up with him?
Of course not. She was my sister. I'd never stand in the way of her happiness. Belinda ended her relationship with Bertie all by herself. She didn't want to lie to him, and she couldn't tell him the truth. So she let him go.
Yeah, at the orchards, Bertie got so mad he wrecked the picnic. I met the guy. He didn't take the breakup well at all.
Bertie had a temper, and that worried me. But in the end, he was a decent enough fellow. Bertie wasn't the person I should have kept an eye on. I had a
So you made your way to the orchards and left me my first clue.
The Purpleberry Orchards was the heart of Ludovico's operations. I knew I'd find some answers in the R&D lab. I saw everything. I would have... I was careless. I was...
Don't blame yourself. I'm sorry, give her the data pad. Here, take it. Or, I'm sorry. Give her the data pad. Here, take it.
That's gracious of you. I know you think I'm a cold-hearted murderer, so I'm a little surprised.
Goodbye.
Good to see you, Inspector. Fucking...
Okay. Acquire essence of Sprat. Optional. Recruit Cedric. Collect an ecopod. Okay. Warehouse Piraeus. Warehouse Foreman Ella Tinsley. Okay. Let's go there. And also recruit Cedric. So I already have the pod. Where did I get the pod? I don't remember.
Aha! Always.
We may handle Red. Wow! Not even a scratch!
Oh,
What a freaks of unhappiness! I just wanted to make you smile!
I wonder if the people at the bar are safe.
Don't make me smile!
Oh yeah! That's funny!
Oh no, where is Josh? Josh Dempsey. Please don't tell me everyone has been infected. Not everyone, right? Please don't.
Wanted to make you smile!
Happiness! I just wanted to make you smile!
It's still sealed. I don't know what to do to get here. Aileen Rowan, where are you? She's missing. Oh, Cedric and Essence of Sprat is in the same location. I guess Cedric decided to hole up in the warehouse. Okay, let's go there then.
Make you smile!
How'd you get in here alive? You are alive, yeah? And not one of them? No, you look clean. Good. You'd better get inside with the others.
Thank you.
Slugs! Why'd it have to be slugs? If I hurl, I'm not one of them, okay? I've got a nervous stomach. Go ahead without me. My legs are shaking too hard to walk right now.
You should have locked the door, though.
Can't promise I won't run screaming if those things break in. Just so you know. I spilled mock apple juice on my pants, okay? It's apple juice, not, you know.
It's clearly his space.
If I hurl, I'm not one of them, okay? I've got a nervous stomach.
If worse comes to worse, remember, I don't have much muscle on me.
So?
So, muscle is the part that tastes good.
This warehouse is loaded with Rizzo's products. We'll be fine.
I
She's
just think we should have a plan.
basically saying, don't eat me, bro.
Why'd Helen have to go and die in our hotel? We don't need that kind of...
That poor woman who used to always talk to that sprat got infected. She's one of them now.
Oh, really?
That's terrible. What was her name again?
Sheila, wasn't it?
No, wait. I think Sheila was what she called the sprat.
Damn. Still sad. though.
Okay, the woman over there, right? Where is she now? She was standing here, watching over this sprat. I wonder where she is now. If it's not what?
Why'd Helen have to go and die at our hotel? We don't need that kind of notoriety.
Inspector, you made it. Well done. I'm afraid you may find the spaceport is, at the moment, less hospitable than usual. My apologies. Regardless, you must have some purpose here. Do tell.
What happened here?
Whew. Whatever it was, it happened quickly. Like a wave sweeping across the shore. We were overrun. Survivors are still trickling in. We've put out a call to slug agents not at the docks to keep their distance. With the warehouse's stores, slug could hold out here for weeks, easily. Possibly months.
I'm working with Helen to create anti-parasitic. We need essence of sprout.
With Helen? You don't say.
Void, dang it. Did you know she was alive?
You flatter me, but no, of course not. Knowing implies certainty. I merely suspected.
How?
This anti-parasitic, it would restore my people to their original, non-infected selves? Safely?
It's the best chance we have. Yes, well, probably.
You do inspire confidence, Inspector. Well, I'll take my people's probable cure over their guaranteed death. Coincidentally enough, Slug can supply you with essence of Sprat. Ella Tinsley, the warehouse foreman, you remember her? There's a package on the desk in her office. You'll find the essence of Sprat you need in there.
Hold on. You told me you don't believe in coincidence.
You're right. I don't. Now then, is there anything else I can do for you while you're here? With
It's a longer story than we have time for.
That's not terribly surprising, considering present circumstances. This anti-parasite.
It's the best chance we have.
Well, I'll take my people's probable cure. Coincidentally,
Who ordered the essence of Sprat anyway?
Oh, I wouldn't like to say. A customer-supplier confidentiality and all that. Now then, is there anything else I can do?
Yes, to create an antiparasitic. Try to keep up.
I'd forgotten how disarming your sense of humor is, Inspector. This anti-parasitic, it...
Essence of Sprat Cedric. Does Slug have it?
Coincidentally enough, we do. Ella Tinsley, the warehouse...
Well, how incredibly fortunate.
Quite. It would seem luck is on your side, Inspector. Now then, is there...
Would you rather I leave them as mind-controlled slug puppets then?
Law, but you like your extremes, don't you? Well, I'll take my people's coincidence.
Thanks.
You're quite welcome. Now then, is there anything else I can do for you while you're here? With the...
If I wanted them dead, I'd skip the antiparasitic and just use a bullet.
Law, but you... Well, I'll take my people's coincidence. You're quite well. Now then, is there...
Ludovico's behind everything. Will you help me take him down?
Oh, my. You mean Lou was up to no good this whole time?
It gets worse. He wants to infect all of the colony with slugs.
It's an ambitious plan, I'll give him that. But tell me, why should I help you, Inspector?
I'm appealing to your better nature here.
Always best to make sure a man has a better nature before you appeal to it. All right, but you're not to take this as confirmation I have one. Understood? You can expect slug support. I'll arrange for my agents to meet you at the distillation station.
What? Distillation? I thought we'd go into the pallet house. How do you know I was headed there?
There are slugs in the Spectrum Brown bottles, Inspector. I am operating on the theory that this is, perhaps, not good. As thrilled as I am to assist you in taking down Lou, we have barricaded ourselves in here for a reason. I imagine you have a plan for getting out of the spaceport safely?
Antiparasitic, remember? I'm going to disperse it.
Are you really? Inspector, you are a marvel. Excellent work. I'll admit, I'm awfully fond of my agents. To see them restored will be a great weight off my soul. Thank you. Go, Ella. No.
That's all for now.
My agents are ready to go when you are.
How is everyone holding up?
Quite well, given the circumstances. Though perhaps I should send someone to relieve the guard at the door.
Hey, Inspector! You're alive! That's terrific!
How are you holding up?
Can't complain. Still slug-free. That is, I'm still slug, obviously, but I haven't been slugged. You know what I mean.
I need essence of Sprat. Do you have And in storage.
You need what? Why?
Is for an antiparasitic I'm working on.
No kidding. I should have known you'd be on top of things. That must be what's on my desk. We just got it in. Couldn't find it on any of our shipping orders, and none of us could figure out what in law's name it was. You're welcome to it. Just so you know, it's got a bit of a weird smell.
Cedric mentioned about customer supplier confidentiality when Aldervaris, who ordered the essence of Sprat. Is it safe to assume that the essence of Sprat is used as either as an aphrodisiac or a virility drug?
I can't complain. Still slug-free. That is, I'm still slug, obviously, but I haven't been slugged. You know what I mean. You too, Inspector. Hi, Inspector. You too, Inspector.
Ella, not sure what to make of this delivery. None of the loading crew can account for it, and it doesn't appear to be listed on any of our manifests. Thought it best to pass it along to you, at least until we can track down where it came from or what it is. Note from floor supervisor. Essence of Sprat.
Ugh, essence of Sprat? Why would anybody keep a vial of... Never mind, I don't want to know.
Hi, Inspector. You too, Inspector.
My agents are ready to go when you are.
Okay, girls, let's take a rest around here somewhere. Okay? Rest complete. Let's go, girls. We need to go to... we need to synthesize the antiparasitic. So back to the hotel. I hope the other people here are safe. I hope they had the time to hide inside their homes or something. Frenzied host. Should we clean up? No. Maybe we should clean up. Okay, so there are more of these things. Yeah, let's go back to the hotel then. Where is our request?
Wanted to make you smile.
There is something I don't understand though. Okay, there is one thing I don't understand. Quinton Ludovico plans to infect everyone with the parasites through the newest product, Spectrum Brown. However, Spectrum Brown has not been released yet. So how did these people get infected? They couldn't have drink the Spectrum Brown because the product hasn't launched yet. So how did they get infected? I did read some research notes though, saying that the larger sized parasites, well, the researcher, I think it was Amir Zhao. Amir Zhao, I think he speculated that the larger size parasites are able to affect humans' minds by proximity. So it doesn't need to burrow into the human like the small sized parasites. So that means these people somehow get infected or affected by the larger sized parasites. Not infected through Spectrum Brown, I think. It's quite surprising to me actually for corporations like Sublight and Rizzo that they don't employ much more, that they don't employ many more automechanicals as part of their security and fighting force. I wonder why. Maybe their trust in automechanicals not that high? I doubt it. Maybe it's just a simple oversight. Okay, the body's gone. Maria Keen's body, I mean. Oh yeah, I remember. Bertie Holcomb returned back to the Grand Colonial. I wanted to check on him. Also, Parvati didn't say anything about Bertie. So it turns out Parvati and Bertie merely share the same last name, but they're not related. I thought they would be related somehow. I thought that Bertie would be Parvati's father's, Parvati's uncle, or a family relative of Parvati's father, like Robert's maybe cousin or something else. Bertie Holcomb. Yo, your boss is holed up in a spaceport in the warehouse. Infected roams around.
I'm pretty happy working for somebody.
Thanks again for all the cleaning assistance, Inspector. I can think clearly again.
Where could Bertie be? The bar or the ballroom? I want to check where Bertie. I want to check up on Bertie. Bertie Holcomb. Maybe he's in the ballroom. I thought he would be here, paying respects to Halcyon Helen, but I guess not. Or maybe he's in the VIP, on the VIP floor, along with the other Rizzo's Rangers.
The Grand Colonial Front Desk warmly welcomes you, Inspector. It's a pleasure to see you again. How may I be of assistance to you, Inspector?
I thought the penthouse was being cleaned for my stay, but it's a pigsty.
Oh, my. Well, that is certainly odd and alarmingly unacceptable. Allow me to check the service records. Ah, yes. Not to worry, Inspector. It was indeed cleaned for you. Except for the evidence, which is all of Helen's stuff.
Okay. Yeah, I think Bertie is on the VIP floor. Let's check it out.
Aha! Oh. If you see Black Hole Birdie, be sure to get an autograph for me.
Already heard that one. Let's go. Where is Bertie?
Well, hey there. I didn't know the adjutant's own freelancer was a fan.
The woolly cow's still here. No effort was made to move it somewhere else. This is Zeke, right? Yes, Zeke Hannigan. Where is Bertie? Where is his room? Ah, there he is. Black Hole Bertie.
Hotel rooms don't feel like home until you mess them up some. This one's real cozy.
I have a few more questions for you.
What do you want to know?
Okay. Okay, take care, Bertie. You know, the way the people talk about his strength, I thought he would be bigger than this. And bigger and taller. Apparently not.
Aha! Next stop.
You think they'll let us expense the booze?
If I were them, I wouldn't be standing around like this. Either I sit down like Nyoka, but even if I sit down, I wouldn't be sitting down here. I would be sitting down in something more comfortable, like these chairs. Or even better, I would, I would lie down somewhere, lazing around. The bed is for the captain, so I can't do that. I wouldn't be able to do that if I'm part of the crew. Then maybe I would just lazing around, yeah, in one of these sofas, on one of these sofas. There is no response. Okay, Maria Keane crossed out, Blossom crossed out. This is Cedric in canon. Bertie Holcomb, Spencer Woolridge. Who's this? Oh, Jasmine Leva, the Prophet of Profitability, the mascot guy, Badge 3001, and Cedric in canon, and Quinton Ludovico.
Good to see you, Inspector. What can I do for you?
Centrifuge. What's this? Oh. Profit of Profitability Flyer. A flyer promoting a productotherapy seminar with renowned Prophet of Profitability Jasmine Leiva at her retreat in the Wilderness Exploitation Reserve. Under her patented system, purge your body of nefarious humor, stopping you from unlocking your true productive potential. The centrifuge was stolen from the Rizzo's RR&DD labs. Calibrate the device, then pour in your ingredients. This is a rudimentary device used by unskilled workers, but you managed to make a few necessary adjustments. The centrifuge separates the Sprat essence into its basic components. As expected, Sprat nuclein immediately reacts to the parasite eggs. Your antiparasitic is complete. Your own special design on the formula guarantees a near total elimination of any parasites present in a host, improves their digestion, and sweetens their breath. Well done. Whoa, okay. So what now? Oh, go to the pallet house to disperse the antiparasitic, correct? Antiparasitic formula, synthesized from essence of sprat and egg pods, can be injected into the Eridanos atmospheric controls. Hopefully, even people whom Helen has declared beyond salvation, like Jacob Yarbo and the other people who had the parasites burrowed into them, can be saved with the calibrated antiparasitic.
Aha! Always so nice to hear you. And
The board report Halcyon Helen dead. Distillery, raising your medical skills. Yeah, for a complex this big, I'm surprised they don't provide the guests with something similar to a golf cart to move around, or a public transport system like a railway or something. Pilot house. So this is like the cockpit for the entire complex. Oh no. What is happening? Oh, battles. Resource security. Oh, he shot the infected. Where are the other securities? Are they all dead? Is he the only survivor? Rizzo security. Have I been here before? This building over here? I think I have, right? Yeah, I've been here before. I think so. Yep. Meteorological control station, round the clock protection to keep us safe. Currently out of service. What? Why? Meteorological control system. Wait, so they can manipulate the weather? Huh? Or am I misunderstanding? Phaeton. Is everyone alright? Wait, where is Thalbert Walcott? Is he alright? I hope everyone else is alright. They can't all be infected, right? There's no one here. Maybe they evacuated this facility. I hope so.
Greeting protocols suspended. All non-essential protocols suspended. Phaeton is standing by for larval compound dispersal.
What's your status?
Reactor stable. Compound dispersal may commence.
Larval, no. Load antiparasitic. Disperse this instead.
Affirmative. Dispersing. Incoming message from Rizzo's distillation station.
Oh, the distillery.
What in law's name have you done? You hijacked our atmosphere. Are you trying to kill us all? No. You're trying to kill my symbiotes. I'm not going to let you destroy everything I've built. I can still fix this. I can undo the damage you've done.
End of transmission.
Head to the distillation station. Okay.
All systems are functional.
Good work, Phaeton. Keep up the good work. Nice job. Wait, what's my reputation with Rizzo? Neutral? Okay, neutral. The moaning. So Ludovico has something up his sleeve in the distillery. I wonder what that is. Okay, turn right. Wait, where is the bridge? Oh, my mistake. The bridge is on that island over there. But yeah, I want to check up on Jacob Yarbo and Sydney Moyano. They're over here, right? Yeah. I like to see whether the antiparasitic cures them, or are they beyond salvation.
Hey, Inspector.
Activated.
Rizzo Spectrum Vodka. Aftertaste the rainbow.
I was nearly attacked by a terror ray on my way here.
Oh, what? The fall damage kinda suck. I mean, that was not that high of a fall. How are they supposed to refuel this thruster over here? I would like to believe they have safety harnesses going from this bridge to there. I hope so. Or maybe they use drones. One of those flying drones, right? One of those flying drones. Oh yeah, one more thing. This complex is flying, right? Flying in the atmosphere of Eridanos. My question is, if this thing is flying, if we jump, shouldn't our bodies move? Let's say it moves towards that direction. So if I jump, shouldn't my body moves to the left? Right? Or maybe the whole complex has some kind of artificial gravity involved. Oh no, still infected. Yeah, maybe the antiparasitic requires time to work.
Welcome to the Nut Hut, the only... Now I'd love to get you some...
Okay. Yeah, maybe it needs time.
One way or another, slugs out of the orchards. Guess that's something to be excited about.
I've still got some paperwork to work out here.
But after that, goodbye orchards.
Okay, distillery over there. Should we enter from the side or from the front? I wonder. Well, the waypoint points to the front door, I think. Not the side door. Workplace melee is moral bankruptcy. Wait, hold on. Receptionist Embry is dead, right? Wait, did she get killed by Helen as well? Helen said she only killed 3 people. Blossom, Maria Kin, and the mascot. But who killed her? Was it Helen? Rapturing host. Oh, what's that? I wasn't paying attention, dang it. Now I need Adreno. None of them carries Adreno. Shit. Warning, no trespassing. Okay.
Wonder what they were storing down here. Were they getting ready for the launch of Spectrum Brown?
I think so. Ah, Adreno.
Hey,
nice. So I can go down here or go through the right. Or through here. Spectrum Brown.
This place really could use a decent engineer.
Oh yeah. Maybe we can take over this place. Create our own drinks. Make money from it, right? But I assume Rizzo would want this back. If we take over this place, Rizzo might send troops to take back this facility. Rizzo's distillation station serving the Rizzo's family. Pressure control terminal. Please enter a command. Increase pressure levels. But why? Pressure levels increase. Please watch for pipe leakage. What? What happened? Oh, this. Where is the parasite? I can see him. Oh, fuck. These parasites pack a serious punch. Up or down? Let's go here first, yeah?
Oh yeah, that's funny.
Great work.
Are there growing parasites in those tanks?
What? I got hit again?
Baby, I just wanted to hear the line. I was expecting to let no one bring you down.
Sure.
I just wanted to make you smile.
Yeah. They're all dead. Oh, the parasites. This is where Ludovico breeds them.
On my way.
Interesting. Can we destroy them before it falls to other corporations like Slug or whatever? Bulletproof glass, so strong. Oh, the mixer.
I just wanted to make you smile!
Hope you're not afraid of heights.
Yeah. Oh! It's a long way down. Oh no. Oh well.
Of unhappiness! What could that? I just want to be your friend! This reeks of unhappiness!
That's the last of them. To make you smile!
Woohoo, nice. Oh, this is the bottling. I can either go left or go right. Let's go right first, shall we?
Nice going.
Oh, sealed. Boo. Boo-hoo is sealed. Engineering ticket. Everything seems to check out on this tank, but I'm not exactly sure if the liquid it's leaking is supposed to be glowing or not. I'll have to send this up to corporate to see if we are working a bioluminescent spectrum flavor or something.
of fine in there, but based on what we've seen so far, I'd say be ready for anything.
Okay. Seal. Oh, this is where we escaped, right? Yep. So are you saying I should save? Okay.
Yes, I know you're hungry. Be patient. I'll feed you soon enough. Just a guest. The one I told you about. The inspector. Welcome. We were just talking about you.
Is he under the influence of the Eridanium gigaseus? Perception. Squint. There's someone behind you or something.
You and I are standing in the presence of royalty. Don't worry, you'll meet her soon enough.
Meet her?
I know what you've done. Hijacked Phaeton. Contaminated the air we breathe with your poison. You think you've saved this colony? All you've done is robbed Halcyon of its last chance at real happiness. And you've angered my queen.
Your queen? Oh, okay. Your queen? What exactly is going on here? I want to choose number 3, but if I choose number 3, I'm afraid I can't choose number 1 because I want to know about the queen. Inspiration. Your queen, what exactly is going on here?
The queen of symbiotes.
Oh.
A creature of endless compassion and unfathomable intelligence. The next sovereign of Halcyon. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to feed you to the queen, and then I'm going to find a way to repair the damage you've done. Don't be afraid. She can smell fear, and it makes her absolutely ravenous. Your Highness.
Nope.
Dinner is served. Wait, no, not me. Them! Merciful law! Stop!
Oh no. Assistant Harwell. What are you doing?
They got the drop on us.
So? What should we do? Assistant Harwell. Who is that? Steam Distribution Control A, Terminal Access, Contact Administration, Contacting Administrative Support. Nothing? Okay.
Mr. Ludovico? Mr. Ludovico, sir? Is there any chance you're still alive inside the Queen's digestive tract? Wait, no. That's his leg on the ground over there. Okay, well, this is interesting. Mr. Ludovico never signed my release, so I'm contractually obligated to stay by my post. Assistant Harwell, Confectioner and Munitions Department. How may I be of assistance?
Now that you mention it, I've got a giant ravenous slug beast trying to eat me.
Oh yes, that'll happen. Negative emotions trigger the Queen's appetite. Mr. Ludovico must have been pretty terrified.
Oh.
Technically speaking, she is the broodmother of a species of vermiform parasites native to Eridanos. We've been using them as additives in Spectrum Brown. Mr. Ludovico installed some emergency defensive countermeasures in the event of an unplanned feeding episode, but I'll need his permission before I can activate those countermeasures.
I'm Inspector Aldervaris. Ludovico hired me.
Oh, you're the inspector. I heard of you. If Mr. Ludovico hired you, then I guess you're part of the Rizos family too. Emergency defense system activated. Thank you for minding the flames. Happy customers are repeat customers.
Assistant Harwell.
Incoming!
What should I do?
How'd you do that so fast?
Distillery engineering passcode. This administrative passcode grants access to the machinery control of terminals in the Rizos distillery. Okay.
They're on us.
So what should I do?
Real slick.
Steam distribution control B terminal access.
Well, hey there, friend. I see you're still struggling with the clean.
Hey there, Harwell. Could really use your help again. What do you say?
Well, all right. But only because you're so sweet and courteous-like. Emergency defense system activated. Thank you for minding the flames. Happy customers are repeat customers.
Alright.
Sure thing. Take your best shot, asshole.
Is it not long enough? No, I'm almost dead. Partially blind? No. Oh, I need Adreno. Oh, Administrator Ludovico. Oh, his skeletons. Administrator's access card. This card provides security clearance into the Rizos distillery. Administrator's finery. Gently used, digestive acid washed. Oh, made by Jolly Cur.
Nicely done.
Yes, Adreno. Steam distribution control C. Machinery control access. Warning. Steam pipe ventilation clusters are hazardous. Please maintain distance after activation to prevent unlawful immolation. Activate machinery cluster C. Executing machinery clusters activated.
Great work.
Honor Guard's uniform. What is this? This exclusive heavy armor also makes it exceptionally easy to kill enemies. Really? Are you okay, Harwell?
You made it. I guess happy customers really are repeat customers. Here, I had something I wanted to give you. This is a golden ticket, good for one free tour of the Purpleberry Orchards. This is my way of showing you that I appreciate you just for being alive.
Why would I want to attack? Thanks, Harwell. You know, the antiparasitic might actually cure him and others like him after Aldervaris recalibrated the centrifuge. I hope so. So how did Ludovico move the queen from wherever they found it to this place? Helen, Cedric, and Ada, okay. Hey, how can I reach this place? They have loot. Wait, there were 5 bodies last time. Why are there only 4 now? Was one of them still alive and he got up? Huh. Will he seek revenge on Halcyon Helen? Yeah, the side door. Okay. Okay. Oh. So regarding this new weapon, why is it so low? The damage, I mean, is only level 36, maybe. So what makes this dangerous, according to the description? It's bad. It's bad. It is a bad weapon. Oh shit, give me your adreno. Ah! No! I'm dying over here. Okay, so we talk to who? Helen, Cedric, Ada. Will the other characters have something to say about this resolution?
I can't believe Helen's gone. We're never going to get a sequel to Terror and Monarch.
I don't think they have. Are you hiding?
I must have dreamed up 100 different ways to kill Ludovico. I'll be honest, eaten alive by the Queen of the Brain Slugs wasn't on that list.
How did you know? Perhaps Aldervaris told the story just now, but wasn't shown. I'll just have to assume that it is an implied conversation, I guess. You sound disappointed.
Is that so strange? I imagine this moment would be a little more cathartic. But Belinda's still gone, and I don't feel all that different.
Give it time. Or should I joke? You know what you need? A nice cold bottle of Spectrum Brown.
Hilarious, Captain. You must be very popular with your crew. I can't go back to the way things were. I can't return to my old life because it was never my life to begin with. It was shared.
Join our crew.
Never mind, you don't need to listen to this. Thank you again for your help, Captain. I never would have made it this far without you.
Join our crew, Halcyon Helen. You are skilled. We need skilled crew like that. It sounds like you're giving up. Belinda wouldn't want that.
You're right. She wouldn't. She was always braver than me, you know. I was always the defeatist. Gave up too easily and she never let me forget it. And now, without Belinda, I think I have to give up on being Halcyon Helen. She wouldn't be pleased to hear me say that, but I don't have much of a choice.
I didn't know Belinda, but she obviously wanted you to be happy. Don't give up on that.
You're right. I'm despairing, and that's not worthy of me. It's not worthy of my sister. Thank you, Captain. I needed to hear that. If you don't mind, I'd like to be alone with my thoughts for a while.
Goodbye. Join our crew. We need skilled crew like you.
You're kinder than most people I've met, Captain. Thank you. You're kinder than most people I've met, Captain. Thank you.
Well, that's because Aldervaris hasn't been corrupted by Halcyon, maybe. Was it better back on Earth compared to Halcyon, or is it also the same?
You've done us a great service here, Inspector. You have my gratitude. There's only room for one slug boss on Eridanos. There's only room for one slug boss on Eridanos.
Yeah, okay. Where's my fucking payment though? Ludovico's dead, so who's going to pay me? I don't work for free, I'm a freelancer. Doesn't mean I'm free. Is it a shotgun? I don't know. Nova Burst TNL. Looks like a better weapon. I don't know. Oh, different color scheme. Hold on. Yeah, different armor parts. This one has the shoulder pads. This one, the honor guard uniform, that doesn't have shoulder pads. Yeah, doesn't have shoulder pads and have pouches on the waist. Yeah, I think this one looks better. This one looks better with the shoulder pads.
I don't know if you watched the big finale, but I don't want to ruin the surprise. Let's just say it involved a whole mess of tossball players and the biggest manta queen I ever saw.
Ooh, no fooling? I'm gonna have to catch that one for myself.
I hope they get together, Parvati and Felix. I think they look cute together. I don't know. No souvenir from Eridanos? Huh, strange.
Welcome back, Captain. Or shall I call you Inspector? What can I do for you?
I'm not the inspector anymore. I finished the Eridanos job.
During your absence, I passed the time by simulating a number of hypothetical conclusions to this case. Unfortunately, my understanding of the facts is limited, and my appraisal of the individuals involved is not flattering. Therefore, my conclusions are inaccurate.
Alright, humor me. Who do you think killed Halcyon Helen?
My simulations have yielded several possible causes of death. Halcyon Helen may have been killed by one or all of the following: asphyxiating on Rizzo's Spectrum Brown, grappling with a primal while inebriated, killed by an overzealous fan, death by automechanical, or profound loneliness. How close were my estimations?
Why don't I just tell you what happened?
Please, do so.
The real killer was Administrator Ludovico.
Administrator Ludovico killed Halcyon Helen? I have been programmed to simulate contempt and mild surprise. Mr. Ludovico had the audacity to hire you to solve a murder he committed? I am contemptuous and mildly surprised. This information is valuable to me. I will update my behavior simulation protocol accordingly. Thank you, Captain.
You're welcome, Ada. No problem.
How can I be of assistance? What part of the... Where?
Oh, okay. New entry.
Edgewater is the sparkling county seat of Emerald Vale, or the town is near the coordinates where Captain Hawthorne died. Since you diverted power to the deserters, the botanical lab is thriving. However, Emerald Vale's cannery shut down, leading to a total collapse of Edgewater's population. Thank you, Captain.
Thank you. What?
Of course. What part of the colony?
Roseway.
Any crew traveling to Roseway will find themselves unofficially in officially uncharted space. Roseway has been removed from all Halcyon charts, and anything I could tell you, I can't tell you, because it's illegal.
I'm not concerned about legalities. Tell me anyway. Why was Roseway removed from coloring the map?
Why else do humans do anything? I believe the decision was a result of money squabbles. I wish I could say more, but as I previously stated, it is against Colony Ordinance C59-002Y.
I'm not concerned about legalities. Tell me anyway.
Here we go. Due to catastrophic financial losses, Redacted reportedly abandoned the town, shutting down 99.2% of all operations. However, there is an unsubstantiated rumor that Redacted, in actuality, continued to secretly develop Redacted products by experimenting on Redacted, imported from Redacted. How very revealing.
I'm your captain, Ada. Disregard the illegality and tell me. What the heck?
Of course. What part of the colony?
Byzantium.
Byzantium is reputed to be the cream of the crop of Halcyon's residents. We're sure to stick out like a sore thumb.
So the people here are pretty wealthy.
Yes.
You want to elaborate on that?
Byzantium is the crown jewel of Halcyon. All the colony's opulence, elegance, and decadence is concentrated in this single city. To say its inhabitants are immensely and disproportionately well-to-do would be an understatement. Colloquially referred to as gold-bloods, most of Byzantium's dwellers will never step outside the city's walls. Conversely, for many Halcyon colonists, the city is a faraway dream.
What's the latest news in the city?
I am sorry to report, Captain. The Minister of Earth has fallen ill, again, and will have to postpone his goodwill tour of the colony.
Is he normally in bad health? Minister of Earth? Is that Minister Clark?
Yes,
Dang it, Ada, elaborate without me having to tell you to.
Noted, Captain. I shall endeavor to be more, as the humans say, chatty in the future. According to Colony News, he's suffering from an outbreak of cystipox and has been quarantined for public safety. The Minister is expected to make a full recovery and resume working closely with the Chairman of the Board soon. However, I find it of note that in the past 52 cycles, the Minister has been reported ill 27 times, suffering from 10 different ailments.
Cycles of what? Months? Or the seasons?
Of what part? Of what? Ah, yes. As Dr. Wells is a wanted out. Of what? Where? Warning. All colonists are urged to reconsider. There are no people aside from marauders in Cascade. The local report is that you will very likely. What part? Where? Ah, Monarch. The armpit of the Halcyon system.
The armpit.
Her last functioning port town is Stellar Bay. Well, that is if you don't count sublights.
Goodbye.
May luck be with you. Of course, as I am sure you are aware, luck does not exist. But it seems to comfort humans to believe they possess good quantities of it. Welcome back, Captain. How can I be of assistance? I'll be here.
Okay, time for Peril on Gorgon. A remote asteroid, home to marauders, smugglers, and an abandoned Spacer's Choice facility. Okay, what's the name of the guy who sent the message to Alex Hawthorne? Lucky something. I forgot. What's his name? Lucky something. Lucky something. Oh yeah, Lucky Montoya. Oh, a wealthy client. Mini Ambrose. Ambrose Manor is located on a remote asteroid in the Charybdis cluster. Gorgon. Ambrose Manor. Thank you, Ada. Oh. So the Ambrose family, I assume they exclusively own the entire asteroid. Interesting. There's the big asteroid, then the small one. Wait. Which one is the asteroid? This one? I think both are asteroids, right? I don't know. I think that one is the Ambrose Manor. Oh.
To Ambrose Manor. We were not expecting company.
Drinks the butler.
Do not stray from the path.
Oh.
That's no fun.
Nice, we're on an asteroid. And we can breathe here. That means... Oh, what?
Oh no, we should check to see he's all right.
It fell? I didn't know. I mean, I didn't see how it fell. Okay. Alice laughed while Parvati is concerned. Okay, so the fact we can breathe on this asteroid means that this asteroid has underwent terraforming. But I don't see any terraforming machine nearby. Maybe the machine has been dismantled after it did the job. Oh, there it is. That's the terraforming machine, I think. Oh. Oh, there's a chest. What's with these rock formations? Are these natural or man-made?
As it was before the fall.
Can we repair it? Parvati is concerned about it. I thought we could help it, but apparently not. Okay. What is this place? Drinks the butler. Oh, storage room. Why would someone put the storage room far away from the manor? Seems like a hassle. Why not build the storage room inside the manor instead? Or maybe this is storage room for spaceship related spaceship related cases or needs. If that is the case, then it makes sense to put a storage room here. Pick up kitchen keycard. Groundskeeper's Journal Volume 1. Daily routine. Sweep the Tranquility Garden for Mrs. Olivia. Oil the fish for Mr. Harvey. Repeat. When they hired me on as a groundskeeper, I assumed there'd be grounds to keep. I'm not even allowed inside the manor. Everyone told me the Ambrose family keeps to themselves. But they are a bunch of hermits, save for the little one. Guess I ought to find a hobby. Mr. Harvey dropped his keycard in the pond. I'll hold on to it in case he ever comes looking, but I won't go near the house. Wouldn't want to get between Mrs. Olivia and her research. Research? Okay. Harvey Ambrose, Olivia Ambrose, and Minnie Ambrose. I'm guessing Minnie is the little one. Where is the groundskeeper? That is the question. Where is the groundskeeper? I hope whatever happened to Lucky Montoya didn't happen to the groundskeeper or any innocent person. Oh no. Are you? Oh. Why are you hostile? Some sprouts are hostile, some are not.
You got nimble fingers, Captain.
Who put the chest over there? Must be the groundskeeper. So this is the Tranquility Garden, I think. These rock formations. Tranquility Garden. Oh, no. Okay, hold on. Is this the Tranquility Garden or is this the Tranquility Garden? I think both are Tranquility Garden. This stuff and this stuff. This is like one of those Zen park in Japan, right? Or in China. Dirt bit cartridge. Aldervaris, do not mess with the garden. It's been meticulously designed. Wait, what is that on top of the rock? Like a globe with a ring around it. Wait, but the ring is suspended in the air. How did they do that? I don't understand. How? Maybe there are magnets inside this sphere? Perhaps. I like this place already. The vibe, the atmosphere.
Those big empty windows. Feels like the building's watching me. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps.
At the very least, there ought to be something worth stealing in there.
Don't worry, Parvati. Aldervaris will protect both of you. Elle is thinking about stealing. Stop it. We are not criminals. At least not yet. Oh, is this the fish? Oh, no. This is mechanical fish. That's why the note says Mr. Harvey wants the groundskeeper to oil the fish. Because they are mechanical. The terraforming machine, nice. Wilhelmina Ambrose. I'm worried about the groundskeeper though. Something makes me worried about the groundskeeper. I don't know why. Whoa, look at that. Wow, so beautiful. I love this. You know, in the Outer Worlds universe, if I'm a rich person, a rich man, I would have done this too, I think. Build a place for me to live on an asteroid, on a terraform asteroid. But it would be scary, no? Being so far away from civilization. But if I have money, like the riches, like the rich people of Halcyon, then there is no problem. I can just use my money to order supplies and other amenities. And hire security guards to protect my house and myself from marauders, pirates, bandits, whatever. Also from creatures. Oh, I felt some kind of jolt in my crotch. It feels like the space, the universe, here, the sky, is going to suck me in, lifting me off the ground, whoosh, like that. Scary, but beautiful. I like this place. Yeah. Oh, scary. Ambrose Manor discovered. Wait, why is this spot toppled down? Signs of struggle, perhaps? I'm not sure. Okay, girls, my legs are tired. Let's take a rest for a while here, yeah? Here, sit over there, and I'll sit here. Okay.